We're talking about the simple shift that turned me from hesitant to confident. Today, I want to talk about why most people never grow. And if you find yourself in this category with most people, I want to break down a simple step that you can start taking right now that will help you break the cycle. Too often, family, we can often confuse learning for action, right? We often think that reading and watching and planning is enough. But it's important for us to keep in mind, hear me clearly on this, family. Learning is not passive. No, learning is an active process. Now, in this modern day time, it can become very easy to be constipated with information, soaking up content, soaking up information. And again, we often assume that that's enough, but that really does not move the needle towards success. Today, I want to talk about how one simple moment created a powerful shift in my mindset. And what I want to break down during this conversation is if you can begin to take on this mindset shift, how you can unlock a breakthrough that can change your life forever. If you find yourself in a position where you're hesitant to take action, where you have been procrastinating on things that you really want to do, where you've been putting things off for whatever reason, and you really want to start building, this conversation is for you. I need you to really listen closely to what we're going to talk about during this conversation. To begin the discussion, family, if you will, please comment below. Knowing is not enough. Again, knowing is not enough. Real quick story. In a previous chapter of my life, I used to be an auto mechanic. I worked at a service shop where I did very simple tasks like oil changes, tire rotations, tire replacements and repairs, minor repairs like brake pads and things of that nature. But I can recall working in this particular space, and my manager, his name is Clarence. On one given day, Clarence walks up to me and he looks me in the eye and he says, "I see leadership potential in you, but you haven't unlocked it yet." And he encouraged me to begin to explore the possibility of me being a part of the sales team. Now, side note, sometimes people are placed in your path that can see the light in you before you even find the switch, right? There's some people that see potential in you before you even realize it within yourself. It's amazing and a wonderful experience to be able to connect with people that see the good in you, even if you don't see it in yourself. So it was a true blessing to have him in my life and to give me this guidance. So after this conversation, he brings me up front into the sales department and he takes me under his wing. And I'm just like shadowing him and watching him as he's interacting with customers and doing business deals with other business partners. And my mind is just locked in on what he's doing, right? Day after day, I'm listening into these conversations. I'm watching these interactions. I'm taking mental notes on everything that he's doing, how he's making sales, how he's building the business, how he's leading the team. I'm just like mindful of everything that's happening. And I can recall on one particular day, I walked into the job and I asked Clarence, I said, "Boss man, what's today's lesson?" And he looked at me and he didn't say a word. He pointed to the right where there was a phone. Then he pointed at the computer. And he said, "David, that's today's lesson." And in that moment, y'all, your boy froze. Like I can recall like my heart was started pounding and beating. I froze on the inside. Now, mind you, for weeks, I had studied what Clarence was doing. I even started reading books on sales. I was sitting around and watching every interaction. I even memorized his best lines. But when it came to me doing it for myself, I was apprehensive. I was hesitant. And here's why. I began to realize that, family, I was afraid to make a mistake. But in that moment, y'all, Clarence said something that really shifted my perspective. He said, "David, up until this point, you've learned about sales, but you've yet to start learning how to sell." Then he said, "There's a difference between knowing what to do and doing what it is that you know." And he ended by saying, learning is something that you do by taking action. You learn by doing. Everybody comment below that statement. We learn by doing. We learn by doing. In essence, what I'm saying is this: real and true learning doesn't happen simply by observation. It happens through application, right? Like, you don't just build confidence by simply just reading things, again, watching content or listening to others talk about it. No, you learn by trying, making mistakes, failing, learning from those mistakes, and trying again until you find the formula or the method that works best for you. And keep in mind, as we're taking those necessary steps to learn something new, you are going to fail. And this is something that often causes many people to hesitate to take action. But you have to also keep in mind, it's through those failures where you receive feedback. And that feedback you can use because it's valuable information that you can apply to who you are to become better, more equipped, and more skilled and more competent in whatever area you're aiming to grow. And as you make those mistakes, you can learn from them and come back and get the results better and improve the outcomes every single time that you try. But so many people are afraid to fail or to make a mistake that they never take that step and give themselves permission to do something new. So therefore, like I mentioned, like most people, they end up not growing. But for you, it's got to be different. We've got to break the cycle and be willing to step into something new, even if it makes us uncomfortable. Embrace that discomfort, because on the other side of that discomfort is growth. And through growth, you gain access to new and greater opportunities. It's important to understand, family, that knowledge, if it's not applied, it really doesn't carry any power. In fact, the knowledge that we just acquire, that doesn't stick. It doesn't transform. But it's the knowledge that we apply, that we use, that we begin to leverage as we're working towards our goals and becoming better leaders and aiming to create a better impact in the world in which we live. When we apply that knowledge, this is the knowledge and information that sticks and transforms. So if you find yourself in a position right now where you've been hesitant, apprehensive, and afraid to take that next step, simply have the courage and give yourself permission to make a mistake, to apply that knowledge, to take that action, to make the executive decision that you're going to step into something new, try something different, so you can get better at what you're aiming to build. Here's the call to action. Whether you're stepping into a new career path, you're aiming to become a more effective leader, you're building a business, or you're working on a particular creative project, whatever the case may be, what is it that you've been putting off, that you know you need to step into, that you know you need to take action on? Let this week's goal be that you're going to take a step in that direction. Take a concrete step. Make a concrete action towards what it is that you're aiming to build. I don't know what it is for you, right? Maybe it's you starting on that book that you want to write. Maybe it's you launching that podcast. Maybe it's you working towards that promotion. Maybe it's you raising your hand for a new and greater opportunity. Again, maybe it's you taking ownership of your fitness and your health journey and getting that gym membership or going into that facility to work on becoming a better version of you. Whatever the case may be, take that step today. Yeah, you've been reading books, you've been listening to podcasts, you've been watching videos and being inspired, but inspiration is not enough. No. Just gaining and acquiring information doesn't change anything. In fact, it's inspiration and information, and you apply it. When you apply that application, that's what leads to transformation. This week, allow your actions to be as big as your ambitions. Make the executive decision. I'm not going to just stop at just knowing. I'm going to start doing. I'm going to apply everything that I've been learning. I've been growing in these particular areas and reading information and, getting all this different level of competence on these things that I'm aiming to build. Now it's time for me to apply it and start taking action. Like I mentioned, there's a difference between knowing what to do and doing what it is that you know. For many of us, you know what to do. You're just not doing it. And you've been wanting that transformation. You've been aiming to create better results. You've been looking and searching for greater outcomes. The change and transformation begins with you taking action. The only way you're going to build confidence is if you give yourself permission to lean into that discomfort that comes with you stepping into something new. I get it. It's challenging. It's difficult. But that's the only way you're going to grow. Don't get caught up on what other people are doing, right? We can often fall into the trap of comparing our chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 15. But you have to understand that every master was once a disaster. But ultimately, they gave themselves permission to do what was uncomfortable. They stuck with it. They tried and tried again, made mistakes, and grew from those experiences. And they got better at what they were building. The same can be true for you. So again, I don't know what you're working towards. I don't know what you're aiming to manifest in your life. I don't know what you're building to create a better reality for you and your family. But ultimately, let's not just stop at knowing. Let's be about that action and start doing. If you don't get anything else out of what we talked about during today's conversation, remember, learning is not passive. Learning is an active process. It's not enough just to acquire information. That's not the information that has power. That's not the information that sticks. The information that sticks is the information and the knowledge that you apply. And that's where your power lives. This week, let's be powerful. If you slid into this broadcast and I was unable to give you a shout out, be sure to comment below. And if, in fact, this is your first time, or maybe your first time in a long time, I welcome you. And I want to shout you out before we do conclude. Be sure to put a number 1 in the chat and then place your first name afterward. Again, put a number 1 in the chat and then place your first name afterward. I'm hoping that somebody somewhere found some value from today's conversation. If you did benefit from this discussion and you found value in this particular conversation, put some fist up in the comments below, emoji signs, whatever the case may be. Let me know you were picking up what I was putting down during today's conversation. Get that on. Chapter of my journey is my own. I'm loving that, Mia. And shout out to everybody on the replay. If you're watching this on the replay and you did benefit from today's conversation, again, let your boy know by putting some emojis up in the comments below. Sherry is in the building. Great day to you, sis. Hope all is well with you. Glad to have you tapped in live. Excellent, Mia. Well, family, it's not too late for you to share this out with the people that you do personally care about. If you did find value in this broadcast, perhaps somebody that you know can also find some value in this discussion. Let me hit this again to pop up on the screen. Please share this out on Facebook, LinkedIn, as well as X, formerly known as Twitter. And for everybody watching this on YouTube, hit the like button, and then you can share the link out with someone that you know as well. Latoya, my phenomenal sister, great day to you. Another powerful message. Excellent. Grateful that you benefited from today's discussion. This truly resonated with me, D1. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Absolutely. Chatney is in the building. Great day to you, sis. Glad to have you tapped in live. Again, grateful that this resonated with many of you tuning into the broadcast. But let's not just stop at inspiration. Again, we need application this week, family. Apply what you know. Do what it is that you're aiming to accomplish, and that's what's going to lead to transformations in our lives. Before we do wrap it up, if we've yet to connect on other social platforms, be sure to connect with your boy. I'm at D1 Gibson on all platforms, including Instagram as well as Facebook. You've heard me reference my YouTube channel numerous times on this broadcast, but you can tap in by going to youtube.com/David Gibson. Be sure to subscribe there. That's where all my long form content is available. And if you're on LinkedIn, tap in on that platform as well. Connect with me at David Gibson. Also, from time to time, I get individuals asking how they can donate and contribute to this mission monetarily. You can connect with me on Cash App. That's $D1 Gibson to make a donation. Again, D1 Gibson on Cash App, beginning with the $. Would truly appreciate your contribution and support. Also, for more information on my coaching and speaking services, tap into my website. That's at elevationisamust.com. And while you're there, check out the online store. We got some new products coming in the very near future. Some guides and kind of workbooks, so to speak, that will assist you in mastering your mindset, developing a growth mentality, and helping you become the best version of yourself. So again, check that out at elevationisamust.com. Before we do wrap this thing up, family, How many of us in this broadcast would qualify, or not qualify, but classify themselves, so to speak, as an ambitious leader, small business owner, or content creator, or some individual that's aiming to become a better version of themselves? Put some emojis up in the chat below, or just simply comment below. That's me. That's who I am. That's who I identify myself to be. I'm working towards something. The reason I ask is because this week we are launching my online membership community. This is designated again for ambitious leaders, small business owners, content creators that are looking to level up. One thing that I've noticed is even though we have social media and we're connected in numerous ways, many people often feel isolated, particularly when they're aiming to build. They're growing themselves. They're growing an idea. They're building a business. They're aiming to create an impact with the content that they're generating. They're aiming to share their story. There's so much value, family, in connecting with others that get where you're at, right? And others that support you, that hold you accountable to be at your best. That's what this community is all about. And if you find yourself hesitating, lacking the confidence or even clarity, we're going to break down how you can level up, gain that confidence, get in alignment with your vision. There's so many things that we're doing within this community. Of course, we're going to have the mindset sessions, the group coaching calls that we're going to be having, talking about mental development, how to connect yourself with your goals and your dreams, identifying your vision and your purpose, as well as talking about small business strategies, content creation, ultimately even how to get sponsorships for your content, how to tell your story more effectively, how to communicate your ideas in a very powerful and meaningful way to be able to make that impact that you envision. There's going to be workbooks. There's all different resources that will help you level up. But most importantly, it's a community of like-minded individuals that are focused on leveling up and becoming the greatest version of ourselves. So a part of that community is going to mean we're all going to hold each other accountable to be at our best. We're going to hold each other accountable to stay disciplined and consistent with the things that we told ourselves we were going to do. How many of us in this broadcast, you've told yourself you were going to do something and then next week arrived and you stopped doing it? This is where the value of community comes in, where that community holds you accountable. Latoya, where you at with this? Hey, Mia, you told me this is what you were going to accomplish. I'm here with you, sis. What are you struggling with, right? How can we create some solutions to these problems that you're facing? That's the power of community. If you're interested in more information on this, again, we'll be launching this week. Connect with your boy. Let me know in the comments below. If somebody will please put info@elevationisAmust.com. Email me and say, hey, D1, I'm interested. Let me know that you're aiming to tap in. And again, there's great value in this. So be sure to connect and let me know if you are interested in aiming to level up. Again, if somebody will please put info@elevationisAmust.com. You guys can screenshot that. And then if you're interested, shoot me some information via email, at least your email. And then I can get back with you once everything does open within the community and we get the app developed and finalized and you can enroll, create your profile, and get things moving. Appreciate that, Angel. That's elevationisAmust.com. Again, info@elevationisAmust.com. With that being said, family, let's wrap this thing up. You got dreams to catch and success to create. So therefore, we each got to get busy being great. Appreciate that, Latoya. Family, again, I'm hoping that we did find value in this conversation. Again, don't just stop at knowing. Let's be about that action this week and start doing. Now, if you do find yourself in a difficult situation or a challenging experience, just remember this too shall pass. It's only temporary. So don't make a permanent decision that's based upon a temporary condition. Keep moving, keep pushing, keep pressing, keep rising, keep going. Don't quit. Don't give up on yourself. Give your all. As long as you continue to take steps and you keep persisting, eventually you shall succeed. And if nobody else tells you that they love you today, remember your brother from another mother, D1 Gibson, has nothing but love for each and every single one of you. With all of that being said, thank you for taking time out of your day and tuning in and joining in on this conversation. Again, I'm hoping you found value. Let's apply it. Let's be about that action. In the meantime, we shall be back at it next week, Monday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want you to be effective, be successful, live with some passion this week, and most importantly, 3 pounds to your chest. If you would, please join in with your boy. 1, 2, 3. Be powerful. I love each and every single one of you. Again, have an amazing Monday and an incredible week. Peace.